Crossbone Radiowave, bringing you the fun in Cardfight Vanguard. Good evening everyone, this is Crossbone Vanguard. I'm Dempster and I'll be your host for today. Crossbone Radiowave is a radio show dedicated to bringing you anything and everything Crossbone Vanguard and Cardfight Vanguard, including updates, announcements and so on. Keep in mind that Crossbone Radiowave is not an official radio show and is entirely inspired by Hibiki Radio's Radio Vanguard G and Radio Vanguard G Next. Now, I do understand that it has been like a week or two since the last Radiowave, and I apologize for that because we were really busy. I'm saying really a lot of times to pad for time, but don't mind me about that. Okay, but today, we're finally back in another Radiowave, and I would like to talk about something that happened a week before, and that is Bushiroad Spring Championship 2017. So, wow, there has been so many things going on over there. There were Vanguard tournaments, both English and Japanese. There was an English Buddy Fight tournament as well. And most importantly for us Crossbone Vanguards, we had a rearguard meeting, just to hang out and chat and have fun and stuff. So, for those of you who came over, thank you very much for coming over. Shout out to Shadow Cosmic, Ram, Potato, AOTL, and Shafiq, the 5 of you. I know Shafiq's in there somewhere, I'm not too sure, but thank you nonetheless for coming over and, joining in and having fun with all of us, just playing Vanguard, Buddy Fight, and basically anything, including Limpei Says. That was a very fun game. Limpei Says is like the Singaporean version of Cards Against Humanity, and my goodness, there was so many questions. There's so many questions in there, and even more answers that give us even more questions and answers. It's so questionable. But it was fun nonetheless. Just for that short amount of time that we played together, and in a personal experience, this is also my first time joining a Buddy Fight tournament. I started playing Buddy Fight very recently, so going into a tournament like that, I'm crazy. I swear to harmonics, I'm super crazy just joining a tournament just like that. But the reason why I joined the tournament was so that I could find out more about the way different worlds and different builds play, and also to learn how to strengthen my deck, strengthen my superheroine deck, and try to find counters for just about everything. I know there's this thing called the sideboard for Buddy Fight, but at that point of time I didn't really have any cards to consider my sideboard, so I just went in with whatever I have. That 52 cards I have in my deck, that's all I have. So of course, being me, my luck is like rank E at that time, possibly, especially during tournaments are like super low. So what happened was, the first round I was fighting against this Darkness Dragon Abigail user. It was a kid nonetheless. I was bitten by a kid. But I have to say it was quite a fun experience, because this is the first time I realized how much my deck was sort of powerless towards Abigail, because Abigail just mills me like nobody's business. It just mills my deck, throws my deck to the drop zone. I can just literally, I just stick my whole deck, put it in a drop zone, and call it a day. But Buddy Fight tournaments are like 3 best out of 3, so I won the first round because I was like relentlessly bashing his face in. Not literally, don't worry, I have no violence whatsoever. But the second round he threw me off guard with a deck out, because whatever I did and whatever he did, it mills at least 2 to 5 cards from my deck to the drop zone. So by the time it was my turn, I drew my last card, and that's it. The game was over. I lost that round. The third round, what happened was he destroyed everything on my field with Abigail Last Death. What was that? Last Death Violence or something like that? I can't remember. It's an impact monster. But anyway, he destroyed everything, and I had nothing left to work with on my next round. Then after that, he just dealt me 3 damage like that, and I lost. So that's about my first round. My second round, I won against the Legend World. I think it was a hero deck. So there really was no competition. I was just beating him left, right, center. So I won that round. Third round was against, if I'm not wrong, it was the 5th Omlin Lord, and that caught me super off guard because he blew my item and my gauge off, and I just sat there like a little boy sucking thumb and losing the round. So, but that's about my Buddy Fight experience. It was really fun. I learned a lot of things. Not just for Hero World, but for other worlds as well. And we also had this sneak preview for Buddy Fight, and even this game called Dragonborn. So we learned quite a lot of things, how these games are about, what the new upcoming boosters are for Buddy Fight, and it was a fun experience. Vanguard wise, there really isn't much to say. This one I will leave it to other people in Crossbone Vanguards who joined the tournament, like Cap, as a captain, Leon, Jiraiya, etc., etc., etc. So, well, that's all I can say about Bushido Spring Championship 2017. It was really fun, despite all the luck sacking and all the things going on like that. But other than that, it was really fun. I know I say that a lot, but it was really, really very fun. And I hope I can join in again, either as a participant or just like a bystander, a hermit, and just watch from the sides and see what is really going on in the current community. So. Other than that, well, there's really nothing much to say, so let's jump right into the Radiowave. Stand up, Vanguard! Crossbone Radiowave, bringing you the fun in Cardfight Vanguard. This program is brought to you by Crossbone Vanguards. Crossbone Radiowave, bringing you the fun in Cardfight Vanguard. Good evening once again, this is Dempster. So, well, let's talk about the most recent episode of the anime Cardfight Vanguard G Next Turn 28 Ibuki's Trial, or Ibuki no Shiren. So, this week, well, the week before, well, it's a Sunday, but anyway, well, Ibuki fought against Chrono, and, well, there really isn't much to say. It's like, the mentor versus the junior kind of thing. So, it's been a few days. I almost forgot what exactly. I'm pretty sure I had notes in there somewhere, but well, Chrono has his luck sacking moments once again, that kind of thing. So, but well, I'm quite surprised to say that Link Joker still has this kind of pressure going on right now. Well, I really don't know what to say other than these two are like so-called bitter rivals already. Well, they've always been, but yeah, but in any case, I really don't know what to say about this episode other than there's this one animation error where Chrono's back row wasn't locked because there was this one turn, I think it was Trans L's Messiah, locking every single rear guard on both fields, and Chrono's back row was locked as heck. So there's this one shot clip right there. They cut into that part where the rear guards wasn't locked at all. So as usual, it's always this animation errors going on here and there, and I really have to wonder what exactly is the issue behind all these animation errors. It's not like just for 1-2 episodes where the animation quality was really bad, but there was inconsistencies and it was consistent. So in short, it was a consistent inconsistency about the animation errors, and I really have to wonder what kind of tight schedule were they on when they were trying to come out with these episodes. Was there any better direction they could have gone in? I'm not too sure, but as an animation person myself, or even though I don't really do animation right now anymore, but I do draw from time to time. But anyway, I really have to wonder, as an animation person myself, I feel very concerned about all these animation errors. And it's not just Vanguard as well. There are a lot of other animes that are really having a lot of trouble keeping up with the schedule and coming up with quality animation. Not even that, Sunrise as well. You remember the Sunrise quality of Athra in the distance running with the small beady eyes? Yeah, something like that. So, I mean, they would fix it in the Blu-ray version, but that is not supposed to be the case. I mean, the Blu-ray version is not there so that they can correct the past mistakes and release it in a much higher quality for everyone to enjoy. No, that's not supposed to be the way. That's not supposed to be the way. Blu-ray is for people to just enjoy it, to collect it and leave it for like keep it for a lifetime, like a memory, not something that not the second chance for you to rectify all your mistakes. I mean, yes, there's one, but once you know that mistake is very glaring, that is something you need to look into in terms of your schedules and your animation and stuff. Because I do know that the animation industry in Japan is pretty tight. Like there's one animation studio can take up to like say I don't know how many projects is there. It's like more than one, definitely more than one. So every single day they're animating non-stop. So they have to like draw and draw and draw and draw. And I do understand how much time and effort it puts into making not just five. It's not even a 5 minutes video. It's like a 25-minute episode, and that is a lot of work. So why are animation studios like taking up so many projects at once, and then after that, when they realize they didn't really have much time, they just rush through everything and come up with all these sort of inconsistencies and stuff. That is something that I think not just the animation studio has to look into, but the company that hires them as well. So I don't know, who am I to say? I'm just a filthy casual who loves playing Vanguard and watching the anime for for content to talk about in the radio wave. But that's just me. Another thing is that they also introduced Beyond Order Dragon, the first GBA to be officially announced, or rather officially released in the episode itself. So in the anime, so Beyond Order's Dragon is it's an X skill, Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 1. When you're at GB8, you bind the top 8 cards of your deck into the bind zone face up, I believe. And what happens is, after the original battle that this unit attacks the Vanguard, you get an additional main phase and battle phase. So honestly, if you ask me, for GB8, that's alright, because the rear guards who are left standing, they stay resting, they stay at rest. So unless you have a way to either time leap them or call from your hand, they're not really going to do anything much. And not only that, Beyond Order Dragon himself gets the skill at the start of your main phase, stand this unit, and it loses 1 drive. So although you get to keep the cards that you have in your hand, for your extra main phase and battle phase, but at the same time, you lose 1 drive check, that is kind of, it lessens the threat by a bit. And normally at GB8, you're already, if you even can survive that far, you are already, exhausted. Your opponent's hand size is already very, very low. This is a decent finisher, but not the best, I would say. Because in order for you to survive, not just Gear Chrono Dragon next stage, but also Gear Groovy, and to reach Beyond Order Dragon, I can say you are an oracle. And by that, I mean you are a god. But who am I to say? I'm really interested to see how this works. And Cab, me, and Leon, the 3 of us, had a discussion about Beyond Order Dragon, and we realized that Beyond Order Dragon actually works better with Chrono Fang Tiger rather than Chrono Jet Dragon. But whether that really works or not is dependent on how the build is made and also how the players like. So you might see it one day or another. We will never know. But I have to say, right now, as of all the GB8 as a requirement, for GB8, unfortunately, Gear Chronicle is still the fastest clan to reach GB8 because of Chrono Dragon Next Stage. Chrono Dragon Next Stage, you flip a G unit face up. You can flip up to 2 copies of G units. During that turn, you strike to Gear Groovy. And not only that, when you use the skills that he gets from, say, Ragnarok Dragon, Huang Long, or Chrono Fang, Chrono Dragon Next Stage, and things like that requires you to flip another G unit as a cost. That alone is already hitting, by the second strike, you're already at GB7 and you strike to Beyond Order Dragon, that's GB8. So that's really fast, and you do not really need to use the new Hue G Guardians from Fighters Collection, or you can just get to GB7 just like that, and that's crazy. I'm not too sure how the other clans are able to do that. So far as I know, you need at least 3 to 4 turns to pull off, to hit GB8 by the time you strike to the GB8 G units. But hopefully we'll have things in the future that allows you to flip more than 1 at a turn. So we won't know until that actually comes by. Crossbone Radiowave, bringing you the fun in Cardfight Vanguard. Next up is, what's that card? This is the section where I'll pick a random card from a random clan and describe it in the most cryptic way possible. And you guys are going to guess what card I am describing. I will announce the answer at the end of the show, so listen on if you want to know whether you're correct or not. So this week, it's been so long since I did the last What's That Card, it feels like that at least. But now we're back in Dark Zone. Actually, we've been in Dark Zone for quite a while. Can we get out of there, please? Like the Angel, the Holy Sanctuary, the United Sanctuary, get us out of there! By the way, this is RNG, so I really have no control over what clan it is. So anyway, this is from Dark Irregulars, and this is from Dark Irregulars. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. So, it's a trigger. It's a grade 0. It's a trigger. I won't say what trigger it is. It has the boost ability, 10k shield, 4k base power, and 1 critical. And this card's race is Demon, as of all, most Dark Irregulars are. So, it's got 1 single skill. It's an X skill. I will not say what skill it is, but that's up to you to, to speculate what card it is. And the design of the card itself, well, how should I say this? Okay, simply put, this card is illustrated by the same guy who did various amounts of cards, and art style is really different between a few of these arts. So I hope that's a clue. I don't know, but he has drawn triggers before. He's drawn grade 3s, grade 2s. This is cryptic as heck. I'm sorry, but anyway, the name of this card is already part of a sub clan, so maybe that can help you a bit more. And as for the design wise, the artwork, it's the main unit itself is like clad in huge heavy armor. It's generally bronze and gold, I guess, with chainmails and stuff, and the background is green with, I think that's a lightning or a dark sky in the background. So alright, I'll leave the clues at that. It should be pretty obvious what it is right now, so tune in to the end if you want to know what the answer is. Crossbone Radiowave, bringing you the fun in Cardfight Vanguard. Card Trivia of the Day. This is the section where we pick a certain card and talk about it in as many details as possible, such as the skill it has, the artwork, its use in the deck, and of course random trivia about the unit. If you have any picks on what card you'd like us to talk about, feel free to drop a comment on our social medias or send us an email, all of which will be mentioned at the end of the show. This week, like the previous Radiowave, I'll be talking about a pair of cards. I've already touched upon the fires of Kagero, and most of the time fire can't exist without firewood. So we're going deep into the woods of great nature, and we will talk about the contradictory instructors. Namely Shellmaster and Taskmaster, no, not the Marvel supervillain. These two cards came out at the same time in GBT02, Soaring Ascent of Guild and Blossom. Shellmaster's skill is your typical countercharger perfect guard, whereby discarding a card from your hand when it's on the Guardian Circle protects your Vanguard for that battle and allows you to countercharge one if you have a copy of it in your drop zone. Taskmaster has one single once per turn Vanguard and Rearguard skill. When you attack the Vanguard, you may counterblast one and stand another of your Rearguards, and it gets plus 4k until the end of turn. In exchange, that unit will be retired at the end of your turn. Shellmaster's art is done by Tsubumaru Inuchiyo, and Taskmaster's art is done by Yamamoto Hiroyuki. Thank you too for these amazing artworks. Arigatou gozaimashita. So both Shellmaster and Taskmaster have a very interesting flavor text that have a connection with one another. Shellmaster's flavor text is, "Your learning is a shield, nothing can pierce it." While Taskmaster's flavor text is, "Your learning is a spear, there is nothing it can't pierce." Sorry. Anyway, something is really wrong here. You have a shield that is practically indestructible, and you have a spear that can destroy everything. Which one is right? Which one is wrong? There you have it, everyone. We have a contradiction. Anyway, contradiction is written as mujung in Japanese and 矛盾 in Chinese, both of which literally translate to spear and shield. This comes from the phenomenon we all know as the irresistible force paradox, and the origins of the Japanese and Chinese phrase themselves comes from a story in the 3rd century BC philosophical book Han Fei Zi. Forgive me for my Mandarin even though I'm Chinese myself. In the story, a man was trying to sell a spear and a shield. When asked how good his spear was, he said the spear was so strong it can pierce through any shield. Then one person asked him, then when asked about how his shield was, he said that it could defend you from all spear attacks. So one person came out and asked him, what would happen if you were to take your spear and strike the shield? The man couldn't answer at all. So this leads to the Chinese idiom 自相矛盾, or self-contradictory. Now another example of contradiction can be found in the Greek mythology. Laelabs was a Greek mythological dog who never failed to catch what she was hunting. Cephalus, Procris's husband, decided to use the hound to hunt down the Theomasian fox, a fox that was destined to never be caught. So you can imagine, we have a dog who never fails to catch anything it hunts, and a fox that, is destined never to be caught. So, yep. Realizing that this contradiction would lead to nowhere, Zeus turned them into stone and cast them into the stars as the constellations, with Laelabs being Canis Major and the Theomasian fox being Canis Minor. Of course, the most popular usage of contradiction in pop culture today is the Ace Attorney series, where the game is largely composed of finding contradictions in witness testimonies and presenting evidence to support the claims. The origin story in Han Fei Zi is even mentioned in Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney in Rise from the Ashes. And there you have it, contradictory instructors, Shellmaster and Taskmaster. I for one would definitely use Shellmaster in the deck, because of the heavy counterblast, and Taskmaster is a pretty good alternative to Crayon Tiger because they have pretty much the same skills, except that Crayon Tiger needs to be boosted and Taskmaster not so. But filling up the grade 3, you have to consider whether you want to use the new Big Belly or the old Big Belly. So anyway, that is all for this week's card trivia of the day, and let us know what card you would like us to talk about next. Crossbone Radiowave, bringing you the fun in Cardfight Vanguard. Crossbone information. This is where we bring you news about upcoming releases, local events, and insights about Cardfight Vanguard and Crossbone Vanguards. G Legend Deck 3, the Blaster Aichi Sendo, is now on sale. This Legend deck provides further support for Royal Paladin and the Alfred and Blaster archetypes, and includes 2 copies of Great Flash Result, as well as 2 copies of Holy Dragon Religious Soul Saver. In English format, G Character Booster 3, Rummy Labyrinth Under the Moonlight will be released on the 12th of May, Friday. This set includes further support for Pale Moon and Grand Blue, and includes Hot Stem signatures and the new rarity Rummy Labyrinth Rare, which includes the signatures for both the voice actresses for Amu and Luna in the English version. So be sure to get these sets and enhance your Vanguard experience. The anime Cardfight Vanguard G next airs at Cardfight Vanguard's official YouTube channel every Sunday at 10 AM. At the same time, tune in to Crossbone Vanguard's YouTube channel for a new card fight every Thursday at 6 PM, as well as our weekly gaming live stream every Sunday at 7 PM. That is all for Crossbone information. Crossbone Radiowave, bringing you the fun in Cardfight Vanguard. This marks the end of today's Crossbone Radiowave. I'm going to use that term right now because it sounds way cooler and better than episode. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed as much as I had, coming back into this. So before we move on, let's review the answer for What's That Card. Do you have the answer yet? It's in front of me right now, it's in my face, it's about to kill me. So the answer for this week's What's That Card is Dark Knight of Nightmare Land. Woo! So this card originally came out in Rampage of the Beast King BTO 7 as a common, and it was reprinted as promo cards until it will be coming out again as a reprint in Descent of Rogue Deity, which is GPT 11. So this guy is a critical trigger, grade 0 boost, 10k shield. It's 4k base power and 1 critical, and is a demon. So he has 1 X skill, which is put this unit into the soul and choose one of your dark irregulars, and that unit gets plus 3k until end of turn. So to feed the soul is a great thing for dark irregulars, and I'm pretty sure Jasmine and JJ would agree with me on that, because I know they are playing this critical trigger in the deck even to this day, and even more so for the Nightmare Land build, which we haven't really seen yet. So I'm very interested to see how the Nightmare Land mechanics work for Dark Irregulars. By the way, that's the answer. So, so did you get it right, or did you get it wrong? Right or wrong, it doesn't really matter because we're not giving you anything. But anyway, of course, as always, we just want to let you guys know that we accept fan mails and we'll be waiting for them. So if you have one, do send it to our email at crossbonevanguards@gmail.com. Once again, that's crossbone.vanguards@gmail.com. If you have any questions you'd like to ask us, feel free to send them to us as well. Of course, you can also send them to us at our socials. We're on Twitter at Crossbone VGS, Facebook at Crossbone Vanguards, and not to mention, follow us on our blog at crossbonevanguards.com, where we post deck profiles, event coverages, and other things that we cannot post on our YouTube channel. And of course, if you want to become a fellow rearguard, join us in our Discord server, and we will give you the role as soon as possible, as soon as we see them, so you can hang out with us, chat with all the fellow rearguards, and of course the Crossbone Vanguards themselves as well, and just basically have fun and to bring out the fun aspect that is Cardfight Vanguard. And last but not least, we have a Patreon as well, so if you want to support us more than you are already doing right now, feel free to go over and check out what we have in store for you. And if you like what you see and want more out from us, do consider pledging amount of money to us, and of course you'll be getting perks according to how much money you pledge to us. So this the amount of money that you pledge for us will go towards funding our more ambitious projects, such as even more varied content for Crossbone Vanguards as well as a Vanguard web series. So with all that said, thank you all very much for listening, and we'll see you again in the next Radio Wave. Tangendo! Turn 29, Defrider. Who is this Tatsunagi gnome, and what does he know that Chrono, Aichi, Ibuki, Kai, and Kamui want to know about? Why is Tsuneto there? Find out in the next episode of Cardfight Vanguard G next. Good night! Crossbone Radiowave, bringing you the fun in Cardfight Vanguard. This program has been brought to you by Crossbone Vanguards.